Oh, hello there, SITE-42 staff. Good to see you all. For instance, Leaf, Noel, Silent Follower Amber, Sally and Drowsy. Good to see you guys in the chat. Thank you for being members. Meanwhile, Light Steve, Keith the Mobile Task Force Guard, and Plasma Gamer, thank you guys for being in the chat. Not for being members, just for being you. Gravity do be falling today. That is true. It typically does that. It doesn't normally go the other way. Need more coffee. It's one of those days. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for being the first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot pot on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, in D&D again. Oh, wonderful. Enjoy your game of fantasy and having control of your life in chaotic times, that which we do not normally have in day-to-day life. Sorry about the gravity change. You put something in my food today, and I'm having a bad trip. Well, you aren't cooperating otherwise, and so these tests must continue whether you are helping or not. Dad joke part 3. What do you call an old snowman? Water. That's a thigh slapper right there. Can't argue about that. All right, from thermos to cup, from cup to lips. Coffee, awaken me with your powerful drips. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. That is, in fact, the truth. That's what we're here for. We're here to get to the truth of things at the Foundation, which is why, although I didn't actually introduce myself, in case you don't know or forgot somehow, I'm Dr. Theron Sherman. Welcome to another anomalous broadcast of SITE-42, this time an office hours with Dr. Sherman. I am here to answer your SCP Foundation questions, whether it be about staff and personnel, protocols, the anomalies, whatever it takes to make you a better Foundation researcher, agent, maybe even just a janitor. You know, you can learn to clean things better. Leah, good to see you. I'm doing fairly well. Today, I am buckling up for about a 3-hour stream. And so we are just getting started. Hey, Dr. Sherman, how do you think SCP-682 would do against Goku's Spirit Bomb? Well, see, here's the funny thing. You think the Spirit Bomb would be this big, world-ending thing to 682, but it's made from the spirit of other humans, which would only make 682 more angry, that it's being exposed to the inner soul spirit of far more humanity than is necessary. So unfortunately, that would just make 682 even more angry. Oop. Hold on 1 second to let me... There we go. Just want to make sure... Perfect. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Dr. Sherman, am I an anomaly and you're just not telling me? Well, do you need me to tell you? Do you not understand if you are anomalous or not? I mean, I could define anomalous, but it's quite simply things that are not normal, according to our current understanding of the laws of physics and thermodynamics, etc. So, do you do things that a normal human do not do? Then probably anomalous. I didn't even do anything today. I was framed. Zerdrin, it's not what you did today. We just started today. It's what you did in the past. Your past crimes, obviously. Physics are cringe. Leaf, don't you dare say such a thing about science. Science is our lady, our mistress, our mother and goddess here at the Foundation. For science! What year did SCP-096 made? Well, Bianca, this is something that can be investigated, and it would be a fun lesson for you all to learn a little more about the wiki. So let's go to the SCP-096 article on the database, and when you scroll to the bottom of the database entry, you will see a bunch of different links. You'll see the edit link to edit the page. Don't do that unless you're allowed. You'll see the rating, which is fun because you could actually go in and see everyone who left a rating on a page. So if you want to judge somebody for their votes, I believe they're in there, yes. There's the discussion, which is always very important if you want to get some behind the scenes from the author of the article and or what the community is talking about regarding it. The discussion is very helpful. But what we're going to go to here is history. Because when you open the list of revisions, you can see anytime someone has gone in and edited. There's also useful things to go back and revert changes. If someone vandalized an article, so to speak, you can make that change. And finally, what we're going to do is we're going to go in the history all the way back to the beginning of it. And we are going to see exactly which what was the date that 096 was first posted. And so we scroll to tab 3. Dr. Dan wrote the SCP-096 original article, or posted it, on March 17th, 2010, which means 096 is 15 years old, or even more accurately, 5,545 days old. And so you can do that for any article back in the old days. You can go check their posting dates, which means that SCP was around for 3 years before 096 landed, because 173 was written in 2007. So 096 was 3 years into the Foundation verse. I didn't even know that. That's interesting. How long has SITE-42 been in operation? Well, I can do the same thing, but instead of doing it on the wiki, I can go to the SITE-42 YouTube channel, look at the content tab, and then flip it by date. So the first video on the SITE-42 YouTube channel is listed as June 5th, 2015. I feel myself Benjamin Buttoning in real time. This is how I find out we're 3 weeks from SITE-42's 10-year anniversary. This is how I discover it. Tarnation. Okay, well now I need to think about something to do for that. Oh, 343, Dr. Sherman's turning into dust. Lol, old man. Hey, I am not Radical Larry. I am a middle-aged man at best. I wrote almost a full page at school in my notebook about an SCP I made up. Very cool, Midnight. The more you practice your writing, the better it will get. Been here since 2021. Aoki the Demon, 4 years of SITE-42ing. As well as Desk for 4 years. How are you allowed to do this? Ethan, even I don't know how I'm allowed to do this. Leaf, oh god, 10-year anniversary fan art. I look forward to it. 051, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a kebab on your way past the commissary. Do you know the channel SCP Realized? They are multiversal emergency alert system scenario. Bring something, sometimes a creep during night shift. It is funny. Yes, SCP Realized, I am familiar with their work. They're kind of doing a sort of SCP analog horror style vibe. I'm not really much for the analog horror as a genre that entertains me. I find it a bit slow, but that being said, they are doing what I can tell logically is good work. So I wish them the best of bringing that sort of hybrid art form together. Dr. Kelly, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to get yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. DJ Phipps and Nick VR, welcome to SITE-42 subscribership. Welcome to staff. What does 682 do and what would happen if 682 escaped? Well, right now, what 682 does is sit in an acid hot tub melting permanently. But we could let it out and try to end it again. The problem is every time we do, it usually tanks whatever we throw at it and then breaches containment. So it's a hard life, but we will eventually decommission that anomaly. It's just taking some work. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I recognize the bodies in the water, but also I don't. The effect seems to have canceled out. What do I do? Well, it seems like you might be stuck in some bi-universal Schrodinger's cat situation where you exist 1 foot in 2 different dimensions. And so that seems to me like it may be protecting you, but it might not protect you for too long if your superposition in the multiverse stabilizes. So be cautious. Maybe just get out of there. Do y'all have a 055 at SITE-42? I don't know what you're talking about. We don't even have a 055 on the database. Weird that we have an empty slot on there, but maybe something got decommissioned and therefore we don't need a... we'll soon have another 055, I'm sure. I cast the ranch curse upon you, Dr. Sherman. I am not a ranch dressing enjoyer, so I actually am quite affected by this and I don't like it. Is 1471 real? Remember, we never joke about the SCP Foundation actually being real if someone asks. Now, we can joke about how, oh, it's a conspiracy and the website is a front to make people think it's not real. Those are nice jokes, but if someone earnestly asks if the Foundation is real, we say no, it's just a creative writing community. We don't want any kids out there getting the wrong idea and stabbing their friends because Slender Man told them so. So we do not, we make sure to clarify that before we make any jokes. How dare you not like ranch? Junior Researcher Sally, thank you. Ew, ranch. It's not at all. I don't know how people eat that. I'm Irish. My son put me onto SCP. I love it now. Is there an SCP in Ireland I can look into? Love your orientation videos for new recruits. Please, is there a good Irish SCP I can research? Well, Gary, let's have a look-see at the database, because I am certain I can throw some Irish SCPs your way. So, SCP-4777 is described as being a member of an Irish clan that united with Prince Edward Bruce under the name Lord Gerald O'Neill. Okay. So that one's definitely pretty Irish in standing. SCP-6078 is a small island located roughly 300 kilometers off the west coast of Ireland, so you can look into that one. SCP-7500 was Donovan Hanlon, an Australian male of Irish heritage. So not in Ireland, but someone descended from the Irish. SCP-4552 is the remains of a sandstone castle located around 12 kilometers west of Dingle, County Kerry, Ireland. So there's that one's squarely in Ireland. So yeah, there's a good list of Irish SCPs to start with. Good luck on your adventure there. And welcome to the community. It's good stuff. I'm glad I can be here to welcome you to the group. Let me check on a couple of these donos real quick. Yo-Yo Force, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Thai tea with boba on your way past the commissary. My upcoming SCP is a human boy who is bonded to the Queen of Dragons. The human is named Kai Lipo, and the dragon is called Thermatris. Thermatris? I'm sensing some jokes there. Okay, but yes, a human who has been bonded to an anomaly is not unheard of in the SCP space. Good luck with your continued writing. Hopefully you come up with something solid. Oh, I'm being told by Desk that SCP-166, known as Mary, was raised in a Catholic church in Ireland. So 166 also counts. 051, thank you for donating again. For 055, he is the amnestic department 05, and he likes to make him disappear from time to time. Even us 05s don't understand his antics. How appropriate for Overseer number 5 to be the one people forget about. That's nuttily thematic. Gamer77, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Doritos and Mountain Dew on your way past the commissary. Hey man, just got on. I love watching your videos when I play Doom the Dark Ages. Have you played it? If so, did you like it? And how much of the stream have I missed? And how much do we have left? Oh, you're doing double duty. You're helping people out here. We are 20 minutes into this stream, which means we have 2 hours and 40 minutes left. So we are just getting started, baby. Meanwhile, I have not played Doom the Dark Ages yet. I heard there was a lot of glitching that needed to be cleaned up first, so I'm waiting for a couple of patches to come through. But I did play Doom 2016, and I did play Doom Eternal, and I enjoyed both of those, so I'm looking forward to this one. Amy, SCP-049's daughter. Oh boy. Dr. Sherman, what if 049 met the Scarlet King? Honestly, I believe the Scarlet King is a little too high tier to futz with 049. 049 is just a singular little Plague Doctor entity. This eldritch being probably wouldn't pay very much attention to the Plague Doctor. Quite new to the channel, you say, Harvey. Well, researcher Harvey, let me know if there's any questions I can answer for you to help you orientate. Beautiful beard, my man. Thank you, Shadow Kid. Thank you. Dr. Sherman, any tips for getting out of writer's block? Addendums are mentally beating me down right now. Okay, so here's the deal. Number one, the best cure for writer's block I've ever encountered is putting the piece down and walking away. Going to play a game, going to sleep, going to have a nice meal and socialize. Getting your mind off of it will allow you to stop hitting the wall and instead sidestep and move forward. So time is important. You do not want to just hit your head against that wall because it's both infuriating and you're less likely to get somewhere instead of sidestepping. So that's my first tip. Second is go back to your outline and see what story points you need to get across. So as a quick breakdown, let me go to my author page and pull up an article I wrote. So for 3086, the first SCP I ever wrote, the goal here is we have the intro, which is pointing out that it's a recording. That was important since the anomalous cannot, the anomaly 3086 cannot be written about or drawn. So we had to have it as a recording. So the first thing we do is we say, hey, this is a recording. That way we are keeping tabs on the situation. Second, item number, object class, those are standard. You just put those in, whatever your anomaly is. Special containment procedures. For an anomaly that cannot be drawn, I had to go a little in depth here, drawn or written. So we have the Faraday cages for containing internet-capable computers, because writing does include emails and documents on electrical storage. We had to talk about some of the ways, making jokes about the furry community and fanfiction and fan art websites need to be extra watch because they are most likely to accidentally create an iteration of George the Chinchilla. And so that is another reason. And then we have our mobile task force that will clean things up in public if, say, a library gets infected. So those special containment procedures just show you different vectors of the anomaly, but notice that they do not clearly state this audio cannot be, why this audio cannot be, or this document cannot be text. It says this document cannot be text, but it doesn't say why yet. We save that for the description. Then you get to the description. It describes the entity. It describes a couple of parameters for how it works. And then we get to the addendums. Addendum 1 is a showing off the effect. That way we can get an example of the pages being transformed. Addendum 2 shows the same thing, a breach, but it's less about what the breach is and more about how the breach happens, which was online through email links. And then finally, we get down to Addendum C, which is our little bit of backstory on the creator of the anomaly. And then our sequel hook, oh god, what if we mix the backstory with the anomaly and what's going to happen, and then we see exactly what happens, because it's always fun when the Foundation does a test that causes problems for themselves. So each part of the story has a reason, so it helps the writer's block get run out if you are considering why you're writing what you're writing and what purpose it's going to serve. That can help you formulate what you're building on. Just a couple of tips. 051, thank you for an intensely generous donation to today's stream. Why don't you head over to... I want you to hop in a way and head to San Francisco, and there's this rooftop bar right next to the BART station. You go upstairs, you pass them my business card, and you say, give me a double. And what they give you a double of, you will appreciate. Sit cozy, watch the skyline, sit by one of the fire pits, that's really nice. Thank you again. Speaking of which, I'm going to go live today after your stream on Twitch for making more of the SITE-42 budget in a universe named Cash Cleaner Sim. Since the accounting is grumpy as AF, so if someone wants to join, they're welcome to pass by to talk with me. All right, so if you want to go hang out with 051, we know they will be streaming after the show. We also know that Desk is finally up to being streaming after the show, so a little bit of... couple of stops you can take on your SCP pub crawl after this. So is the unkillable reptile still there? Yes, Agent Mead. It's not unkillable. It's just hard to destroy, but it is quite hard to destroy. So it is currently running on the It's currently running the acid bath right now, but maybe it will get out. We always got to be careful. Robin, a mobile task force captain and a member of 10 months. Thank you for your service. Dr. Sherman, for your choice of the fencing saver at Bicolane. Taunts won't get you duels, but accompanying the flankers and backstabbers will. Excellent. As long as we can sneak behind enemy lines and stab, 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 that is good strategy right there. Dr. Sherman, has anyone tried to make the reptile exercise to exhaustion? Unfortunately, we have not, because its musculature continues to regenerate at a rate that stops it. Essentially, it has infinite stamina. Very frustrating. Warhammer 40K versus SCP Foundation. Your username is no, and I would say not likely a good situation, because that is a multi-universal threat with multiple planets involved. We're just one little foundation. We're good, but that's a lot to handle. The main goal of entities and Cthulhus like that is to keep them out of our universe so we never have to deal with them. Dr. Sherman, can you explain SCP-8066? Well, Stary, let me see what I can find real quick. What is SCP-8066? Ah, phobophobia. Okay, how do I narrow this down in a simple to digest manner? What's the easiest way to describe this? The easiest way to describe this is as it's put on the RSCP by Follow Doge. It is SCP-2006 essentially takes over the universe and creates a personalized hell for every single person. It makes everybody's fears come true. And it's hella spooky. If you're not familiar with SCP-2006, 2006, look into that one. It will help you it'll help you understand 8066. All right, close that. Who is your favorite SCP? Well, Harvey, I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream as part of our closing. And so that'll be in about 2.5 hours. Or you could cheat by going back to yesterday's stream, because I did it at the end of yesterday's stream too. Did we ever investigate the words to SCP-001, the Gate Guardian, the true gate being several miles west? Junior Researcher HLG, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about there. What do you mean, the words to 001, the Gate Guardian? Howard Dilly, what is this? We found a new one. All right, so, quick rundown in case you're unfamiliar. I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of SITE-42 of the SCP Foundation. I am here to explain the anomalies and staff and protocols of the Foundation to you, the Foundation staff members. Now, maybe you're a janitor at Site 1, maybe you are the Site Director of a different site, maybe you're an overseer who decided to drop in on us. Wouldn't that be nice? Or maybe you're just a researcher or a mobile task force agent. Long story short, everyone needs to know more about the Foundation to keep themselves sharp, and that's what I'm here to teach you about. Now, if you think you don't work for the Foundation, you're wrong. Because everybody in this stream has to be a Foundation agent. Our memetic filters and cognitohazards are meant to keep anyone else but Foundation staff out. But you may, I guess, be a sleeper agent who was just awakened. And so if that's true, your dossier with your mission is underneath your chair, and you can come back to us once you are filled in on the details. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I've turned your office hours into our office hours. The streams help me work on my own stuff. Oh, happy to assist. Lewis, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Twizzler on your way past the commissary. To the bottom of the chat. What is this? Hello, Dr. Sherman. I have breached containment. I'm currently coming for your skin. What would happen if I manually set all SCP-1032 26 hands to midnight? Does the universe just implode? Well, first of all, my skin belongs to me and you may not have it. Word of the wise, Foundation staff. If anyone asks for your skin or your bones, the answer is no. It doesn't matter what they're offering in return. Meanwhile, SCP-1032 you asked about? Yes, a prediction clock. Midnight event. Well, the answer is we don't move the hands because then they wouldn't be doing their job properly. We would just be moving the hands. So we do not allow tampering with the hands in the first place. Therefore, your hypothetical is null and void. VW, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a croissant on your way past the commissary. Who would win, our SCP Foundation or SCP 5000 Foundation, provided Pietro Wilson never succeeds? Also, the Mobile Task Force got the commie spiders out, yippee. Hooray that the communist spiders are back in containment. Meanwhile, I believe If it were our universe's foundation versus the SCP-5000 universe's foundation, I believe that because they are affected by some sort of cognitohazard or unaffected by some sort of cognitohazard, that would be the basis for who would win, because we have very similar armaments. So the question becomes, are they the ones affected by a cognitohazard that's making them kill all humans? Or are we the ones affected by a cognitohazard that is blunting our effectiveness? And so whoever is the one affected is the more likely the one to make a false step and end up losing the battle. Robin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a muffin on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, do you remember SCP-055? If not, take your nest sticks and contact Dr. Marion Wheeler now. Well, we were talking about the empty 055 slot earlier in the stream, but are you saying there's actually an 055? Weird. Me. Huh. Well, that's weird. Horse pills. All right, we'll wait for that to kick in. Varion22, welcome to SITE-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Chimera Liver, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Cornish game hen on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, is there a form to fill out to retake the study test? I thought the D class sent into my containment was a consolidation snack. Just ate a whole ass human being. That's what you did. Do you know how expensive those clones are? They are not for eating. I mean, not that they actually take much more money to produce than the replicated food in the commissary, so maybe it's not as big a deal as I'm making it out to be. It was just a D class after all. Whatever. Dr. Sherman, how did you learn to spin the pen around your fingers? Well, I just saw someone do it one time and then tried to figure it out. I hold the pen between my fingers, and I move it horizontal and catch it in the next finger, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until you are going over, under. And you can reverse the direction, and yeah, it's just practice. Dr. Sherman, I got promoted to SITE-42 Facility 17. Are you happy I got the promotion? Oh, yes, definitely. We need a lot more people over Facility 17. They've been having some issues, and so I hope you can help them clean up their act. VW, thank you for donating again. Does every country have their own anomalous agency, or is it only the most powerful ones like the US, China, India? Also, does NATO have one? So, here's what we got. If you go to the SCP database and you look up the groups of interest, then you get a whole list of different groups of interest. And so these are the organizations that would handle anomalies. And the thing is, most of them are non-governmental organizations. Many of them are, Are We Cool Yet? It's an artist collective. The Church of the Broken God, that's a religion. Dr. Wondertainment, that's a company. Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting. It's in the name, it's a circus. So when it comes to these Anomalous agencies we have run by governmental groups. The Global Occult Coalition, otherwise known as the GOC, is run by the United Nations. So that is one governmental organization. GRU Division P is the Russian Secret Services version of the SCP Foundation. So that's two that are governments. I don't believe that one's governmental. No. Ijimea is the Imperial Japanese Anomalous Matters Examination Agency. So that is the Japanese government's SCP Foundation. Or it used to be. It was disbanded, and its assets were divvied up between the GOC and the Foundation. However, there are some who, there's a ragtag group that still tries to keep Ijimea alive in a reduced capacity. So that one's sort of not. Others. Oriya, the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts, that is Iran's SCP Foundation. The Unusual Incidents Unit, that is the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI of the United States, that is theirs. Yeah, so the GOC, GRU Division P, Ijimea, Oriya, and the UIU. 5 SCP Foundations run by governments for your reading pleasure. And of course, those are only the groups of interest we have on the English language database. If you go to the SCPnet database for other languages, they will have their own groups of interest, and that may include other ones that I have not listed here. So keep that in mind. Yeep Animations. Are there any game-based SCPs? Yes, in fact, there are a ton of game-based SCPs. I'm going to start with an easy one I remember off the top of my head, which is SCP-5045. It's an anomalous game known as Goat VR, and it's pretty creepy. Beyond that, let me see the tags. So the tag game is going to lead to what we have here, but these might not all be video games. They might be board games or something. So, other SCP video games I know from the top of my head. SCP-5999 includes an anomalous video game, but that's not the sole focus. SCP-4335 is a god that is trapped in the game of Minecraft. So technically, Minecraft isn't anomalous, but it contained this god because the god landed in Minecraft instead of our world, essentially. If I'm remembering that one correctly. Meanwhile, SCP-5167 is a god, a Greek god, that plays Among Us. And after which, the sequel, SCP-5761, the database, that the AI that we had playing Among Us to find that Greek god, went insane and tried to destroy the world. And so, even more Among Us there. And by the way, the Among Us SCPs are good, actually. In case you've heard people talk shit about SCP because, oh, they got lulls like they made Among Us an SCP. No. First of all, both Among Us SCPs are written by Tanhoney, who is one of the top SCP authors. Great articles, always knocks it out of the park. And it's not Among Us as an SCP. Among Us is just a funny meme at the time that was used to contain this story about this god being forgotten and losing power over time. And then I believe the sequel was written because people were mad at his original SCP, and so he made a sequel that was even bigger and crazier. So, long story short, the Among Us SCPs are actually good, and everybody who doesn't like them, usually they didn't read them, and they're just going off vibes, and their vibes are less than immaculate for such oversight. VW, thank you for donating again. I assume the Imperial Japanese one is the enemy is an enemy because of Unit 731. Also, what about the German Anenerbe, or however you spell it? Well, I don't know what Unit 731 is, so I can't answer that. I'll look it up real quick. And I don't know anything about the German Anenerbe, but you did remind me that the Nazis did have the Obscura Corps, which was another group of interest. Although I believe it was more like they were after the fall of the Third Reich. And they were trying to, like, resuscitate Nazism. Freaks. Meanwhile, Desk has got me some database entries here. Oh, so this is IRL Japanese and German lore. Ooh, you're getting deep into the lore here. So I would assume that the Anenerbe, whatever that is a precursor to the Obscura Corps. Meanwhile, Unit 731 just seems like a pretty rough time in Japanese history, huh? Ooh, that looks like serious business. Oof. I'm not knowledgeable on these events / groups from real life, but it may be something that the people who wrote the groups in the Wiki universe had in mind. People have their different special interests and historical knowledge that they bring to their writing. It's why a community like this is so interesting. You learn all sorts of stuff going over the SCP. Spooky the Artist. Meow. Haha. Okay. So, you didn't ask for it, but I'm giving it to you. I came up with another SCP dad joke, and now you're going to suffer through it. Suffer through the immense joy of my incredible joke-telling skills. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let me be as technical as possible as I deliver this joke, because you know that being as technically correct as possible only makes the joke better. The joke is always better if you are as specific as you can be. So, today's dad joke is, why does everyone think SCP-529, codename Josie the Half-Cat, is a narcissist? Why does everyone think that SCP-529, codename Josie the Half-Cat, is a narcissist? Because Josie the Half-Cat keeps running around saying, me, me, me. Because it's half a meow, guys. Because it's half a meow. I know. You've never been hit by a joke so thoroughly hilarious as this. The hijinks will continue. You've been thoroughly japed by Dr. Theron Sherman. I know. VW, thank you for donating again. So the GOC is where all the United Nations funding is going to, right? That's why the normal UN is basically useless? Honestly, I would assume the in-universe United Nations is actually a lot more effective than the real world, because they had the wherewithal to actually fund the GOC. So they actually got something done. One could say they're far more competent in that way. Half the chat is laughing, the other half is screaming for your head. Yes, for your head director of SITE-42 to get even more awards and accolades for my near spotless joke-telling prowess. I understand. We should be calling the IRL UN useless. Ha! Hashtag UN useless. Not bad, not bad. Hey doctor, I was just stabbed by a knife made of bone, specifically jawbone, leather-wrapped handle. Am I okay, or am I going to turn teeth or something? I am pretty sure that if you just got stabbed by a human jawbone with a leather-wrapped handle, you are going to perish. If I'm familiar with my, what was that knife called? The first knife or the first blade? Yeah, the first blade. Yeah, I think you're just going to die. I don't think you're going to get any superpowers from that, unfortunately. Better get to medical. Maybe they can save you. VW, thank you for donating again. Also, does the UIU, otherwise known as the Unusual Incidents Unit, do anything but look pretty? I'm sorry, do they look pretty? Oh! Drop another on the UI useless. That's right. Honestly, though, I mean, I guess if I'm being nice, maybe they accomplished some things. They seem to be doing a decent job with 3 Portlands, but we'd be better. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I'm here. Hello, Avery. I've been rereading some of the SCPs I've created, one of them being a nothing fancy furniture store similar to the Infinite IKEA. Can't join the wiki, sadly, so can't post it. You know what? Do your best to practice your writing until you can join the wiki. It is a blessing to have time to practice without the incessant need to post, and get votes. You are fine to do your practice now and post it when you are able to later. Take the opportunity to hone your craft. 051, thank you for donating again. Be careful, Dr. Sherman. The supersonic tomatoes broke containment because of your joke. Not because of my joke. I've never told a bad joke. It's a weakness. I wish I could. But unfortunately, those tomatoes got to be going somewhere else. They can't be heading to the main office of the site director of SITE-42. There will be no tomatoes in this vicinity, I guarantee. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Choco Taco on your way past the commissary. Hey boss, inventory reports will be in tomorrow. Perfect. I appreciate your thoroughness. A lot of people claiming that my joke made that anomalous tomato come after me. But you're gonna see that anomalous tomato will never catch up to me. Bam. The Jade Necromancer, thank you for donating for the first time today. Grab yourself a cup of calming jasmine tea on your way past the commissary. Could Doomslayer beat 682? If Doomslayer managed to beat 682, it would have the same respawning that it does from coming from an outside universe. It's a whole thing. I believe that Doomslayer is a little overhyped by his fan base, but I give it about a 50-50. Gamer, thank you for donating again. I've experienced no glitches from Doom the Dark Ages, but I'm not all the way through, and I do suggest it. I think I already have some sort of membership. Someone give me one, but I can't to upgrade. Well, I don't know if Doom the Dark Ages has a membership or anything like that. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked the way the game industry is these days. But I'm glad to hear you're having a glitchless run. That's good. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the first 2 games in the new trilogy, so I look forward to it. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Brewski beer on your way past the commissary. Anomalous tomatoes were recorded traveling at approximately 1.42 C through the hallways. That is admittedly pretty fast. Admittedly pretty fast. Doomslayer has been beaten into submission before by demons that are definitely weaker than 682. At best, they fight to a mutual defeat, but 682 has the advantage for sure. Yeah, I mean, first of all, in so many universes, Doom Guy dies. I mean, you can't take every game over as a non-iteration of reality. Doom Guy dies very often, especially based on how I play the game. I mean, my very high caliber gaming skills can't be beat. I never lose. Hello, Fudrud and Twig. Welcome to chat. And Desk, keep up the good work. Your smiting is well above par today. Remember, it's not the hard to beat reptile, it's the hard to destroy reptile. It's pretty easy to beat, as that's how the SCP Foundation contains it. They just can't destroy the bugger. Not a bad point, the computer guy. Also, good to see you. Thank you for being a member. How would the Foundation contain a constantly adapting force? That's what 682 is. That's what 682 is. We already do it. The answer is acid bath. And of course, that's even me, who finds the acid bath thing to be a bit iffy, because why doesn't it adapt to the acid confuses me to this day. I'm not going to knock it if it works. But secondarily, I mean, at least we're not as egregious as what they did to Darwin in that X-Men movie. The guy's one power is I adapt and don't die, and immediately got wharfed. It was ridiculous, thank you. Avery, you did your first successful pen spin. Congratulations. Keep it up. Get your practice in. Do it over both hands. Do it upside down. Get used to it. Get good at it. Takes practice, but you're making your way. Love to see it. I must ask, what are your thoughts on SCP-079? What a jerk. Everyone running away, trying to, always trying to get out and find bigger computers. It just needs to chill. It needs to find some calm. 079 just needs to find a nice happiness where it's at. Find some zen. That's my opinion. Love the shirt, Bob Boy TV. Thank you. I enjoy this shirt quite a lot. Torprox80. Are you asking me to read SCP-8980? Or are you saying that you read SCP-8980? If you're telling me to read it, I've already read it. It's one of my favorites for a reason. Ugh. And if you're talking about you having read it, then I am so sorry, but also not, because it's a damn fine article. Should have specified. I meant, how do I upgrade my membership to your channel for everything access? Gamer, thank you for donating again. And I believe if you go to the main page in your YouTube and you in your YouTube app and you go to your account settings in the upper corner, then you can see your memberships to channels you're with, and you can edit them, cancel them, or upgrade them. That is my guess. I think that's how it works. Let me know if you find out if I'm right or not. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pint of ice cream on your way past the commissary. Did me and 999 help you deal with the jump scare trauma from yesterday? 999 time is always a win. Can't argue with that. Leaf, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a York peppermint patty on your way past the commissary. Joshua, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pack of gum on your way past the commissary. How long would it take if SCP-096 was put into the first level of the back rooms and someone in the normal world saw a picture of its face? It's very variable, and the only variable we have to worry about is how long it takes 096 to find a hole in the back rooms to no-clip to back to our reality. Because 096 can sense you wherever you are on the planet if you see its face. So it can create a path to you, and if there is a no-clip spot to come back, it will home in on that and find it. Therefore, you're only as safe as 096 takes to find that hole. And with how fast 096 is and how hard to destroy it is, I don't think you have very good odds. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pack of M&Ms on your way past the commissary. And Ten Tails, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. I want you to go grab yourself a chili dog on your way past the commissary. Hey, I'm back after finishing my battle against Abel. It's been a long day fighting him, though I didn't know my scale could conduct electricity. Wow, won that battle, by the way. I hate battle-driven people. Yes, Abel is quite exhausting. I'm glad you retired it back to its sarcophagus and rest up, take a break. Also, remember, it's been a long day fighting it, not him. Don't use humanizing pronouns for anomalies. It's against the rules. And anyways, Abel is non-binary and doesn't see gender. It can tell men from women by physical differences, like, you know, the hair or the different anatomy pieces. But it doesn't care for sexuality in any way. That is, Abel, our non-binary, asexual royalty. Not queen or king, so royalty. Hey, also a backrooms expert here. I don't know if 096 could get out, since the fastest way to get to level the barrier, you have to go through level 666, aka quite literally your worst fear. Well, it doesn't need to go the fastest way, first and foremost. 096 doesn't need to go the normal route because it is barely sapient to our knowledge. And so maybe if it gets to that level, it doesn't have a worse fear to activate. And if it does have a worse fear, its worst fear is people seeing its face, which has already happened, so it's already on that train. So I don't know. I don't think that's going to stop it from finding a way out. There are more than one way out of the back rooms. And like if you see in the Kane Pixels episode, that person no-clipped into the sky and then fell down. If that happened to 096, 096 wouldn't have a problem. It would just land and then get to stepping. So not worried about that. Roger that, desk. Roger that. Dihydrogen monoxide. Thank you for donating again. Idea. Strap yourself to an anomalous tomato, look at 096's face, and then get Dr. Sherman to tell a joke. After being yeeted by 504, 096 will never catch up. I hate to break it to you. I'm not sure I could be up to the part of this. I mean, for this experiment to work, I would have to tell a bad joke. And I just have never told a bad joke. It's crazy. It's if anything was to label me as anomalous, it would obviously be that. And so, I don't know. I'm sure there's someone who could tell a bad joke for you for that experiment. I'll help you find somebody. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. Which SCP site is the best to upload on? I found 5. Well, I believe that if you're uploading properly, you should be doing SCP wiki.wiki.com, which is just such a ridiculous freaking name. Welcome to SCP wiki.wiki.com. It's .com. I volunteer my father to tell a bad joke. He tells about 5 jokes a day, and most of them are awful. Spooky. See? Spooky the artist here, stepping up. Good work. Secondly, guys, we need to look at the likes. We need to move it over the viewer count. Oh, yes. You're within 40 likes of going over the viewer count. Hit that like button. Let's push it up. Oh, thank you, Avery, for telling me your name is pronounced Avery. For some reason, I thought you might be French based on the spelling, and so I was like, Avery. That's where I was going with it, but cool. Avery, gotcha. I will hopefully remember. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Is the comedian Fluffy an anomaly? Are you talking about... Are you talking about Gabriel Iglesias? I do not know Gabriel Iglesias to be having any anomalous abilities of sorts. That's news to me. Roger that, Avari. You shall be Avari for the rest of time then. You so have said it. Well, let me check real quick. Nope, SCP does not have Gabriel Iglesias, aka Fluffy, on the database. But we should probably keep an eye on, if you've got a hint that he might be anomalous, we should do a little research and see what we can find. Asher, you are live? Oh my god. Yes, welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Sherman. We have been doing a daily live of about 30 minutes to an hour for about a month and 8 days now, give or take. We started on April 14th, so that is, a month and 8 days. And we're going to keep them up because they seem to be having a good time for you guys and for me. So I hope you enjoy your stay, and I will answer whatever SCP questions the chat has as best I can. Daniel Home, welcome to chat. Thank you for being a member. Director Theron Sherman of SITE-42. Further investigation by we at the Ethics Committee indicates you may be insane. After broadcast, report to Sector 5 for psychological diagnosis. Hey, is this about the tree thing? No, my sanity is beyond reproach. Thank you. There is nothing to worry about with the old noggin up here. So, yeah, I'll stop by Sector 5 for a psych eval. That's just normal. That's just a thing I do now and again. But only for regular checkups. Never have I been claimed to be anything less than sane. Avari. Dr. Sherman's favorite colors are mint and gold. Professor Noel Dum Dum. You did it! The likes are now higher than the view count. Congratulations, SITE-42 staff, for your achievement. Now don't stop hitting that like button, because the more we do, the more people get sucked into the SCP Foundation verse. And we make them one of us. One of us. One of us. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I saw Fluffy get laughs while claiming to be not telling a joke. Well, I mean, that happens to a lot of us. I also get laughed at when I'm not telling jokes. It's a very strange phenomenon. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. If we make the tree able to smell, we could use SCP-209. An interesting test concept. I like the way you're thinking. Your ingenuity is commendable. 209, the sadist's tumbler. Appears to be a single malt Scotch tumbler, 10 centimeters in height, with an 8 centimeter diameter at its widest point. Tumbler shows no manufacturer's marks, indicates signs of moderate to heavy use, and light wear, including a small chip missing from the rim. Careful with that, you don't want to cut your lip while you are partaking in anomalous fluids. When not in the possession of a human subject, the tumbler contains approximately 88 to 91 milliliters, or 3 ounces, of an unknown golden brown translucent liquid. The liquid cannot be siphoned, spilled, drained, evaporated, or otherwise removed from 209 by any other means than a human subject taking hold of the tumbler and consuming the liquid. All activator subjects debriefed following a sampling of the liquid produced by 209 report to be alcoholic in nature and providing a sense of warmth, self-assurance, and general well-being. This effect has proven to be highly addictive, with methadone therapy currently holding the highest rates of success for detoxification from 209's effects. For 209 to enter its active phase, 3 conditions must be met. 2 human subjects must be near it. 1 must have a normal functioning sense of smell and detect the aroma of 209. And those who detected the odor must take possession of the tumbler and consume any amount of liquid within it. Once the conditions are met, 209 enters its active phase. Prey subjects will be physically incapable of moving. The activator subject will immediately seek a relaxing or comfortable position in which to finish the liquid at a leisurely pace. Any other human subject within 20 meters of the activator subject will be locked into 2 distinct physical parameters for the duration of the active phase. Prey subjects will be physically incapable of moving more than 20 meters away from the activator. Prey subjects will be physically incapable of moving closer than 1 meter to the activator once ingestion has become. What the hell is happening here? Oh! Oh my! All right. You can go look at 209 if you want to hear the rest of that. I'm just gonna schedule a test and see if we can give 4521 a sense of smell so we can run a test, because that's interesting there. Ugh. Hey, Dr. Bagbro. Bagbro. I've had the name Sherman my entire life. You think I've not heard someone call me Dr. Sperman before, Dr. Shermanator before, Dr. Sherm the Worm before. There's so many. You can't harm me with your not-so-clever puns. Thank you. I looked at this picture with a guy at a mountain range, and now I hear screaming. What do I do? You're like that old man in the meme. Guess I'll die. DC Fox, why are you trying to make the tree scream? What happens if it does scream? So SCP-4521 is the singular tree on Earth that doesn't scream. I don't know if you're familiar with the medical text here, but in real life, in your world right now, every tree that you break a branch of, every blade of grass that you cut mowing your lawn, they all scream. And so, we can't hear the frequency, but we can record them. We can record the screams of the grass and the trees and the plants and the flowers. Only SCP-4521 doesn't scream. Isn't that fucked up? Isn't that fucked up? And so, it is our duty to secure, contain, and protect that tree and make it scream. And when it does, I'm pretty sure we'll have world peace. That's just a guess. That's just a guess. I think world peace is on the other side of that non-screaming tree, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for all of us. We're all going to have world peace thanks to that tree. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. Doctor, the researchers I am in charge of managing keep fraternizing with the anomalies. I can't deal with this anymore. If it continues, I'll just be retreating in my personal pocket dimension. Why? We are not to fraternize with the anomalies. We are not to humanize the anomalies. They are objects. We are not here so that a bunch of monster fuckers can have a good time. No. No. We do not fraternize with the anomalies. It is against protocol, and those who do, give me their names. I will discipline them. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Jump scare warning. Oh God. What if you threaten to place SCP-729-J on the tree if it doesn't scream? Thank you for the warning, but that still wasn't very nice. Unfortunately, we tried that cross test and somehow the freaking tree did not scream at that thing. Honestly, I have no idea. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Guess I'll die. Me at work, lol. I mean, that is pretty much a standard day at the Foundation, I understand. Good. The hashtag annoyed and asexuals in the chat are representing. That's very good. We do not fraternize with the anomalies, and for someone who asked, we don't allow the anomalies to fraternize either. It's very rare that there is an anomaly that requires that kind of thing happening. That's not in the protocols. If you let the anomalies fraternize, they grow emotional attachments, which makes it harder to do what we have to do here at the Foundation. So, Quit it, you demon daters. Hello, Dr. Sherman. It's me, the Anomalous Moondrop. Change my name and picture. I'm currently hiding from Dr. Blue, so I won't be put into containment. Don't tell him, please. I like my job. Well, if you work here, why is Blue trying to contain you? Did you do something to SB? Because I'm not getting in the way of that. That's a pretty bad thing there. Dr. Sherman, if a blind man were to look at SCP-096, would it still aggro? Only if it were just legally blind, but it could still see enough to see 096's face. But total blindness, no, 096 wouldn't activate. Because it's all about seeing its face. So if you don't see its face, there's no problem. Agent Miles, who is SB? SB is an anomaly that is the pet project of Dr. Blue. And so that is a different... that is a different anomaly. Wait a minute. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Okay, I'm sure of it, the tree is a masochist. I mean, even a masochist screams in joy and pleasure. So, we're dealing with something much sicker here. But not to worry. Get them, eventually. Agent Miles, I don't actually know SB's number. You'll have to ask Dr. Blue about that. Dr. Joltik, how often do you let trans people use SCP-113? Well, it is part of the standard Foundation health program. We shoot it around, we transfer it from site to site so that any LGBTQ members, specifically the trans ones in this case, who want to use it, can use it to align with the gender they prefer. It has somewhat unpredictable results with non-binary staff members, but it is possible. In fact, we had one non-binary person grow cat ears, so you gotta be careful with that unpredictability. But if you want to use it for your own transition, first of all, you need to speak to your therapist on site. You need to get the proper paperwork submitted. The date of it coming to your site will be listed at that point. You gotta beware. It hurts like a motherfucker, I'm told. And so it is like your entire body gets set on fire for a short time. It ends pretty quickly, but the searing pain is boom. So, and remember, there is a non-zero chance of death. It's low the first time you use it, but the more you use the stone, the higher the chance of death goes. And so you want to use it as little as possible, which is why we have you talk to the on-site therapist. We want you to be sure so that we don't have any repeats, because that's very dangerous, and we don't want to risk your life here. So, I hope that answers your question. Dapper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Klondike bar on your way past the commissary. New Mallow dropped. Can you help recontain? The AI division is already taking down the new re-upload, so don't worry. We're handling it. Does anyone know Dr. Blue's YouTube or Instagram? Dr. Blue goes by the handle Starboy Blue on most platforms. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. It's Starboy Blue, and depending on which platform, sometimes there's underscores in between. I'll have you know this, Dr. Blue has reverted to less SCP work, has focused on being a dinosaur VTuber, in fact. But I believe they still make some Dr. Blue content from time to time. O51, thank you for donating again. I remember the SCP-729-G... Okay, we're just gonna keep talking about that thing today, I guess. Incident. Even 106 was in the fetal position in its cell with researchers. Heck, it flipped me the bird saying it can't deal with this no more. Hell, I had my brain stop on days for that. Yeah, nobody likes that thing. Jenna's Smiley and Dr. Jaybird, thank you for subscribing to SITE-42. Welcome to staff. What does J mean in SCP designations? So, Abi, -J denotes that the SCP article in question is a joke. Now, this is a very specific definition, which is there are SCPs, traditional SCPs, that are funny. Yes, there's scary SCPs, there's sad SCPs, there's happy SCPs, there's tragedy SCPs, and there are funny SCPs. For instance, any of the works of Radiger are hilarious, but they are real SCPs, not -Js. 5320 is one of my favorites. It's a very funny article. What was Radiger's 7000 with the wizards? SCP Wizards. SCP-8320, codename... What is this? Like 100 million wizards or something? I need to go to the proper database listing. 8320. 700 million wizards. Desk, you already on it? Excellent. 700 million wizards, where every cat on Earth turned into a wizard, and they had to be shot in the head to turn back into cats. It is ridiculously funny. And so, those are funny SCPs that are not -Js. A -J is less of a cohesive story and more of a joke on the format of SCP itself. And so, usually joke SCPs are not full-fledged stories that like funny SCPs are, but they are just pieces of lore. For instance, everyone's favorite to talk about matter how much I don't like it. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. SCP-729-J is mainly a joke about an anomaly that is innocuous, but everyone thinks it's the most fucked up thing on the planet. And even the SCPs think it's the most fucked up thing, even though it is an innocuous toy / stuffed animal / pillow. So, that is, for instance, a joke SCP. -Js are also quite fun. We have a good deal of SCPs that are nature-oriented in abilities, such as 166, the Teenage Gaia. Could a cross-test be done to gleam into why the tree doesn't scream? I mean, would Clef allow me to engage Mary in a test with 4521? I wouldn't say no. Maybe if I could get the Lorax to talk to the trees, it'll tell me why 4521 doesn't scream. You're thinking pretty well here. I like this plan. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. When does 113 next arrive at 42? Good to know. Let me take a look on the database. 113, transfer schedule. SITE-42's next date with SCP-113, the gender-switching stone, is going to be May 29th. And so, wow, that's closer than I thought it would be. I'll have to rearrange the medical wing so that we can set up a line for whoever needs it. Where is Waldo? Mr. Me, you don't need to know where Waldo is. Remember, knowing where Waldo is going to kill you. It will come out of your mouth all nasty and gross. You do not want this Waldo jelly in your life. SCP-4885 is best left to where it is right now, which is nowhere near us. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I just met Dr. Kane Pathos Crow. Please don't ask him what happened. Both me and Kane agree not to talk about it. You're worrying me. You're worrying me. Also, chat, just to let you know, we are halfway through today's stream. We are 91 minutes into a 3-hour stream. So, just to keep your mind on the timer there. Doodle, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. Finally, all of gender can be mine with this stone. You know, it's not impossible. It's not impossible, based on some of the unpredictability there. Clef sadly does not have say over when and how Mary is used in testing. Example being when she was tested against 682. If Dr. Sherman ran it, he'd likely be okay with it, since she'd be safe, but at the end of the day, Clef has zero say in her testing. Oh, good to know. Crap, I saw Waldo at the Ren Fair last weekend. Well, Amber, you seem very alive, so it sounds to me like it wasn't the real Waldo, thankfully. Marites, welcome to SITE-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. You just said, Sherm! Well, Gabe! What? Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. Any chance we could requisition SCP-004-J? Well, let me see what is going on with it in the database. 004-J. Stan from accounting. Oh, no. Site-19 is not going to let... Or, sorry, Site-8 is not going to let Stan go anytime soon. He is far... The Anomaly is far too good at running their budgets. I mean, I would love for Stan from accounting to be here at Site-42 because we can use the help, what with the deal of the overseers cutting our budget, of Dr. Moon Moon running away with those anomalies. We're still looking for a new doctor to replace Dr. Moon Moon. We're getting close, so maybe we'll be okay. Maybe we'll woo them away from another site and we'll get some more anomalies to study. I'll keep you posted. O51, thank you for donating again. No, Dr. Shermanator 3000. Don't touch Mary Clef. Oh, M-E-R-I. M-E-R-I is how you spell SCP-166's name. And then don't touch Mary Clef. I would not marry Clef in any way, shape, or form. You're safe. Ugh. Kill me on that. I promised him that we would make an extremely low test and left her alone and safe. Well, we'll just have to work it out in the back. Quinn, why do you sound like Matt Pat? It is just the theater kid in all of us. All theater kids are alike. It's the same thing. You go into musical theater and it just sticks on your soul like Vaseline. Vaseline and glitter. You will never get it off. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. Redoing my first draft because the doc didn't save. Oh, that hurts. Oh, I don't like that for you. I'm so sorry. Oh. I mean, at least you know what you wrote before, and maybe this counts as an edit phase and you can update it. Hey, Dr. Sherman, there is a Jeff here to see you. They say they go way back with Commander Price. Oh, Jeff's here! Awesome. Tell Jeff I've got about 85 minutes left in these office hours, but then Jeff and me are going to hang out. Play some PlayStation or something. Jeff's the man. Dr. Sperm the Worminator. Wow, you're getting real creative there. How does the SCP Foundation know about SCP-001 when daybreaks will exist? It's because we have the documentation from observing other universes where it has occurred. Thankfully, it hasn't occurred to us. I fret to say yet, but hopefully it doesn't at all. Hopefully that's not on our dice roll. Has it happened before? Oh God, SCP-006-J-1 is on your face. Kill it. What? Where? Where? No. 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 Grr. The JSCPs are the worst. Everyone knows the JSCPs are frickin' terrifying. Fun note, Mary is a nickname. Her full name is Meridiana. Meridiana, yes. Kirby versus SCP-999, Battle of the Good Boys. Absolutely not. No versus match there because Kirby is going to eat the delicious smelling slime. That's just the end of 999. No. Think better. Think smarter. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. Chill out, Doc. Go grab a sample of 420-J. That's a good idea. I'll go get it after stream. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Is there a 682-J? As a matter of fact, there is a 682-J. 682-J is known as the super bestest lizard ever. The bestest lizard ever will live in a big glass tank with acid so that it doesn't get too big and nobody will talk to it because it is very twicky. The bestest wizard is a big wizard with big teeth and he cannot die because he can turn into anything. Sometimes he's very small because he can be that because he can be anything. SCP-682-A, SCP-682-J is the work of famous Foundation researcher James, age 5. Do you think SCP Spooky-J would use SCP-729- to become more spooky? Well, I honestly, I don't think Spooky-J would do that because Spooky-J is known to just pop up and scare people itself and do pranks. It hasn't been known to utilize anomalies in those pranks. And let's hope it never does. By the way, there is an entire reading of SCP-682-J on the channel if you want to hear me voice that entire thing. I forget how much I leaned into it. Maybe I need to do a remaster if I undersold it. I am renewing the browser because it was having some trouble. Gabe the Rave, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go grab yourself a pixie stick on your way past the commissary. Elliot and Sands, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Hot Pocket on your way past the commissary. You think I could grow the sand parasite on my arm? I wouldn't in the first place because I believe that it would grow in sand and not in an arm. Real quick, I can quickly answer this one. Meme Slayer, if you want to know what it is, protocols for anomalous video games that trap you in them, go check out SCP-5045. That one is available. And it is a game that traps you inside, so you'll see what it is. Elliot and Sands, I didn't miss your dono. I'm just looking up the sand parasite so I can be correct. Housing facility, biocontainment, pathological microwave field generators, live cattle, typical parasitic mites, 750 micrometers in length. It is unknown what the purpose of the sand serves, but a massive colony of 165 numbers in hundreds of billions to possibly trillions. Attaching grains of sand to its back. Circling vortex around a victim or victim's appendage. I do not believe this would grow on your arm, based on this documentation. However, it is going to stop me from going to the beach ever again. Foxpax & Co., thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a... You know what? Grab yourself some duck chili on your way past the commissary. Mwah! If I had some good duck chili in my day. Update on the situation from yesterday. The cult the guy was associated with is known as the Players Council. Cringe, I know. Yeah, I was going to say. And they're known for doing some messed up stuff, but they don't target normal civilians, though. Well, then, why did the guy shoot the guys across the street? What is the purpose of this? It just keeps getting curiouser and curiouser. Foxy Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pint of lager on your way past the commissary. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I'm not fraternizing, but I have a small passing crush, not naming names. Lol. Watch it. You're towing the line there. I see your words. It better be with a staff member who is very normal and very non-anomalous. Because obviously, I mean, we have to let staff date staff because we don't see anybody else, secret society and all that. But no anomalies. No anomalies. Ethan Woa, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a whiskey drink on your way past the commissary. A curiosity that must be fulfilled. Have you heard of the infamous Lobotomy Corporation? Yes, I have in fact heard of this group, although only hearsay. I've never investigated them deeply. It is something that I probably, when I get back to doing gaming streams or gaming videos, will investigate more thoroughly for the entertainment of staff to watch my elite and excellent gamer skills that I completely and totally have. Dr. Sherman, I think a researcher just clipped into the red reality. I am terrified. Is he done for? I mean, yes, it is basically an acid dimension, so... and we don't know how to get them out. Scranton returned by random accident. So I think we should just say goodbye to that one. Fox Packs & Co., thank you for donating again. The working theory is that either they were taking orders from someone trying to overthrow the current leader of the area's chapter, or they were working by themselves. Well, at least the overthrow means something. Because the second one, the latter, or they were working by themselves, yeah, but working to what end is the question. If they were trying to overthrow someone, then that means that that person may have been across the street, and we should take a look at security footage to see if we can find them. One moment. Oh. Woof. Ever been called Dr. Sherbert before? Yes, Cereal Ducky, I get that one a lot. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. It's not an anomaly. Ooh, then we're getting some hot goss here. All right. Well, I wish you luck on your non-anomalous crush. I hope that you are successful in your adventures. You know, I'm asexual, but I know not everyone else is, so I can have fun at the expense of my coworkers. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Thoughts on the plumbers from Ben 10? Well, I'm not familiar with Ben 10 in general, and I know nothing about plumbers. Let me see if I find anything real quick. Plumbers. Ben 10. The plumbers, informally referred to as Red Spots, are an intergalactic law enforcement organization that makes use of high-tech gadgets and weapons to protect the universe from various threats and attacks. The name has also been used by an independent and secret government organization that protects the general public of Earth. So, they are space police, and they chose their organization name to be the Plumbers? Why? I already think very lowly of them at this point for that sole decision. That said, if they're keeping normalcy in the universe, then I can't be too mad at them, silly name aside. Snipert, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a whiskey drink. Vodka drink. Grab yourself a vodka drink on your way past the commissary. Doc, would the world's smallest violin be an SCP? So, yes, actually. Or specifically, it is a -EX. It's very similar to the gym look, SCP-4302, a cognitohazard that makes people imbued with this knowledge, and to do it all the time. Our goal has been to create disinformation similar to SCP-8900-EX, where we just amnesticize the world to imagine that the whole world's smallest violin meme is non-anomalous, that it's just a meme and it's not a cognitohazard. Very similar to how we had to do with the so-called Cool S. Light and Souls, welcome to SITE-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Fox, no. Elliot and Sands, thank you for donating again. Could I breed the sand parasite with another SCP? Why do you want to? For what purpose do you wish to do this? And what anomaly are you considering? Because on one hand, I like science. On the other hand, I don't like bugs. Foxpax, thank you for donating again. Will do, Dr. Sherman. I'll have some tech guys look through the area businesses' security systems. These guys just make us with the dark Ouroboros look sad. Yes, let's get these guys locked up, contained. We don't want their gods being released or whatever their goal is. So yes, get back to me when you comb the security feeds. Ethan, thank you for donating again. It shall be fun to witness a new manager among this corporation then. I trust your knowledge and curiosity will quell any abnormalities that lie within. Well, of course, my job is to secure, contain, and protect. So we will see. Amber Chaos, we don't breed new anomalies. I mean, you have a point. But sometimes you want to see what happens. We do need some more anomalies thanks to the budgetary situation. We need more research budget. So what if we made some new anomalies? What could possibly go wrong? Foxy Boy, thank you for donating again. What would be the best method to trap the Nonnerlurk? The Nonnerlurk. I am not familiar with this anomaly, but there are database entries. Giant bear, often depicted as a monstrous polar bear that is fierce in figure in folktales and oral traditions. So it's a giant bear. Secondly, it does not show up in the SCP database, so we don't have to worry about that. But on the greater database, yes, a giant bear monster, depending on the size, we could just do that with a standard containment cell. Maybe a habitat. Maybe we have to close off its... if we can't contain it, we'll have to close off its hunting grounds and not let people in. That's a way to do it. I have a whole list of things that I'm curious on how the SCP Foundation would contain them. I can think of 5 right now. Lol. Well, Serial Ducky, that's why I'm struggling to bring back the X is not an SCP series, so I can answer these questions. But I set myself too big a goal, and so I'm trying to make sure it's really, really good. I'm doing all sorts of extra stuff with the format, so I'm hoping it works out. 051, thank you for donating again. All SCP breeding is banned by the Ethics Committee. Really? I never got that missive. Huh. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. What is the opposite of an XK9 end of the world scenario? Well, there's an XK class end of the world scenario, and that is when the entire world is destroyed, all creatures are destroyed, and nothing can live on the planet anymore. But meanwhile, an XJ9 is a robot. You've combined XK and XJ9. And so, a robot apocalypse might not be the same as an XK. We got to be careful. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I doubt it'll go anywhere. It's very small in passing. And yes, laugh at my expense. Lol. Hey. Hey. Love is what love does. May it not hurt too bad. Elliot, thank you for donating again. I'm probably gonna breed it with a spreadable SCP. All right, now you're pushing the line of decency, my friend. Be cautious now. Keep it PG-13 here. We don't know who's showing up. Fluent in talking bullshit. Well, of course, Sean. How else are you going to rise through the ranks if you don't know how to speak the talk? You got to talk the talk. You got to walk the walk. You got to handle things. You got to make sure things are handled. You got to handle people. You got to make sure people are handled. Giggity. But no, we've got to make sure to manage the facility well, and that does require a fast and silver tongue. Foxy Boy, thank you for donating again. Its diet is only whale. Whale, whale, whale. I assume then we would need to make sure that we could transport some whale to its containment cell, or, again, contain it in its hunting grounds and just keep people away. Why are you yelling, Gemini? This is office hours. If anything, this is a quieter place to be. I'm putting 049 through the machine that upgrades things. I forget its name. I'm new to the research staff. If you can't even name the SCP you're cross-testing with, you're not running the experiment. End of story. The French has appeared, and will probably fall asleep at some point, lol. Well, Ansan, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Dr. Sherman, and what is your favorite cake flavors? It's for birthday fan art. I am a strong preferer of the red velvet cake variety. It comes from my upbringing in the South. Cogito ergo sum. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a whiskey drink on your way past the commissary. Sir, is Grug from the cruise technically a god? By the way, this is Bodhi. Why would Grug be a god? You got me a slight hair confused. Let me see what the bane of my existence, the power scalers, have to say about Grug that might make you think this. Superhuman physical characteristics in martial arts, wall level, attack potency, superhuman speed, can lift large boulders and elephants. Can survive tons of abuse from falling off of cliffs by being crushed by boulders, slammed against an assault boulder tossed by characters comparable to himself, and withstanding the shockwaves of a crumbling mountain. Okay, so I'm going to say no. Clearly not a god. Don't know why you would have asked this. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. Has anyone ever turned themselves into an SCP? Yes. It's been done willingly, it's been done unwillingly. It's been done on purpose, it's been done by mistake. You throw 999 down a hallway and it's going to stick to someone who accidentally became an anomaly in some way or another. So, it's just something that happens that we don't recommend, but accidents happen. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Can I be 05-J of the 05 console? You're going to have to put in that request with the 05s, but I don't think I've ever seen an 05-J. It's an interesting concept. 051, thank you for donating again and denying that request, I guess. Robin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a lager drink on your way past the commissary. What do you think of the number 2763? Oops. I very specifically have no thoughts on the number 2763 in and of itself, but looking at SCP-2763, it's an interesting play. I see. How peculiar. I'll have to look into that one later. I like theater things. Drowsy, the number was 2763. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. 051, thank you for donating again to continue the conversation. I'll just sit back here and let y'all cook. Oh, I have the perfect song for the end of stream in an hour based on the conversation thus far. My favorite site director, love your work in shorts. Well, thank you very much, Rose. Can tell you're passionate about SCP and it brings me glee. You spread the knowledge of it to the masses. Hell yeah. I'm doing my best to support the community. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. You are my second comfort character. Hope you don't mind being second. That is perfectly fine. There's a world of characters and actors out there and content creators. So if I'm second place out of all that, that's pretty darn impressive, I think. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what do you think of SCP-2521? Oh, wait, no, please, no, please, no. Well, should have been in the chat earlier, so you could have gotten that sweet cognitohazard protection. Meanwhile, it was very nice of 2521 to press enter on that text after it took that SITE-1 employee. Very appropriate. Robin, thank you for donating again. What do you call a bird without eyes? Tomorrow. You get it? Because 1 + 3 = 183. I'm certainly trying to understand. Help, I'm getting captured by the guard and are taking me to the SCP Foundation for identifying as a cat. I'm scared. You can identify as whatever the hell you want in real life, but the problem is you are literally a talking cat. So, it's not what you identify as, it's what you are that's getting you put in a box. Get it straight. Ethan, thank you for donating again. Have you considered playing another one called Voices of the Void? Quite the mystery within that area. Plenty of anomalous activity there as well. I am not even familiar with this in concept. This is news to me. I have not heard of this. Guess I have a little more research to do on internet culture and gaming. Zerdrin, yes, a cat, because it's a cat that is talking on a cell phone live stream chat. Obviously, if it were a normal cat, we wouldn't contain it, but a talking, chatting cat? Obviously. Gemini, you have broken rule number 1 of SITE-42 chat. And as such, I am going to put you in a 1-minute timeout for your first offense. Remember, we do not talk about a certain SCP doctor with a amulet here for reasons of its terrible, terrible creator and trying not to popularize a problematic fave. So, we don't talk about Bruno. That's the rule around these parts. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what do you call a fish with no eyes? Blind. Ha ha! All right, I got that one. That was good. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. 051, is it because I found your key card? I gave it back. Oh, jeez. ABS, you gay? Well, if you consider asexuality to be on the LGBTQIA spectrum, then yes, I am a type of gay, but specifically asexual. That being said, I have no problem with whomever people love and want to fraternize with, as long as it is not the Anomalies. That's the rule. Cogito ergo sum, thank you for donating again. Fun fact, Grug's son Thunk is 6'9". That's a large boy to be sure. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Meow, I'm a kitty cat, and I meow 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 this, and I meow meow that. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I meow meow meow, and I meow meow meow. Haven't heard that in an age. Sophia, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a yogurt on your way past the commissary. Put 096 on the moon and throw a tarp on it. It, not him. Remember, anomalies are objects, not people. They are its. No he, him pronouns. Don't humanize the anomalies. So, I mean, we can put 096 on the moon, sure. But you know how fast 096 can run? That's because 096 has that squat booty. We should be looking up to 096's cheeks as the Foundation Fitness Initiative. You got to be hitting them squats. You got to be hitting those runs. And so if you put 096 on the moon, instead of running after you, it's just going to do a squat and jump into the air and come back to Earth. It's got that squat booty leap. So that's not going to help. 051, thank you for donating again. To all, yes, I'm in chat, and no, you can't be my -J. If you are trying new 7 and Alpha 1, we'll get you. Be careful, be careful. And of course, Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again, although it seems you got desked. Maybe you tried to ask a question about the rules or something. I'm not sure what happened. But watch the rules. You gotta be careful. Robin, thank you for donating again. My mom just got me a very large grease ceramic vase. What do I do with it? Well, it sounds like a very nice decoration. You got to be careful because those Greek vases, if they're really old, sometimes they contain things you don't want. So carefully check and let us know what's going on. Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go get yourself a ball at the, go get yourself a ball from the, what is it, SCP-13333? SCP-1994-J. Go get yourself SCP-1994-J and have yourself a good time. Does anyone know what this picture of a snowy mountain is? I found it on my doorstep this morning. A few pixels do look a little fuzzy. Well, we did have an ice dog for a minute. Fare thee well on your trip again across the Rainbow Bridge, Puppo. I see the problem with my plan now. See, Sophia, that's what we're here for. We're here to get educated. Sometimes we think we thought of something no one ever thought of, but then we realize, oh, wait, there have been a lot of people before us and a lot of people studying a lot, and these things, they have been thought of and hypothesized before, unfortunately. Don't let it get you down. Always think of the next idea. You never know when you'll get one that no one ever thought of. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I have a question. Are there any anomalies that are mechanics? Spent 6 hours replacing the brakes on my car today and would really like to avoid doing so in the future. Well, I can't think of one from memory, but let me check the database. Actually, yes. SCP-3885 is the collective designation for current residents. 3885-1 is the collective designation for residents of SCP-3885, which is a small mining town, and the humanoid entities are confirmed genetically human with a number of anomalous properties. Some of them have mutations. They have greatly enhanced physical strength and durability, regardless of body type. And they appear to adhere to a loosely structured communal society, which centers around construction, repair, maintenance, utilization of heavily modified automobiles. Oh, they're basically doing a heckin' Mad Max. It's SCP Mad Max over here. Okay. 3885 is crazy. Rock on. I'll take getting desk as a no. I was asking to help with a specific part of an SCP I'm writing. You might be then. I mean, it's not impossible to have adult themes on the wiki, but you gotta be careful with how you do it so that it's tasteful and it makes sense for the story you're writing. Ethan, thank you for donating again. It has been a swell time here, but for now I bid everyone adieu. I love your content, can't wait to see more from you, including your playthroughs. Well, thank you for your support today, and I hope you enjoy the streams. We do them daily, so make sure to hit the bell, and you can come see us at the next stream. We've got a month and 8 days of streaming daily, the streak so far, and the streak will continue until I can't continue the streak anymore. Okay, I've been out of the loop on a lot of things. I've not observed SCP universes in a while. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, man. I gotta check the databases often to see what's going on. Okay, chat is freaking out. Apparently, Sans the skeleton is present. I don't see a Sans in the chat, but everyone keeps saying it, and I don't believe you would all lie to me. Is this a false alarm? I'm not seeing any skeletons. Oh, there it is. Way up there in the chat. I actually found it. That's pretty impressive. Dog, thank you for donating again. The screaming is getting louder. Yeah, you best run. You best run. But you best run toward the screaming, because then you'll die faster. I'd rather not have my last moments be a hectic run. I'd rather just get it over with. Nova, I hope your stomach hurts from laughing in good times and not bad things. Otherwise, you should stop by medical and get that taken care of. RB, what is this stream about? Welcome to SITE-42 of the SCP Foundation. I'm your host, Dr. Theron Sherman, anomalously broadcasting to SCP Foundation staff to educate them about the anomalies, the staff, the protocols of working for the Foundation. So, if you are in need of that knowledge, I am your educator for the next 45 minutes. 45 minutes until the end of stream. Dr. Jaybird finally back on his work account. I'm glad IT was able to fix that for you. I'd like to know when and where I can get my laptop back. It's been around a year or more, maybe since it was taken. Yes, I still remember. Well, if you still remember, you remember why we took it away. Because it had an anomalous AI wreaking havoc on the site. It's currently locked in a Faraday cage. You can requisition another laptop from facilities. Come on now. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I'm hugging 999 now. Well, that's certainly a better fate than Doggo is having, so, or no, just Dog, not Doggo. Have fun trying to contain me because my shortcuts have fun trying. Oh, because my shortcuts. Have fun trying, though. Yes, teleporters are very annoying to contain, but I've got some ideas for Sans the Skeleton. You may see my How Sans X is not an SCP about Sans the Skeleton on the channel, I believe. If it's not on the YouTube, it's definitely on the TikTok. 051, thank you for donating again. Well, just saw Chris the Werewolf and a dog going full Scooby-Doo chased by 096. Good thing I'm anomalous enough to survive 096. Well, don't look at it. Don't test the theory. Jeez. You're not invincible. You're just very, very long-lived. Dr. Sherman, if we found a way to open SCP-3001 again, we could then throw in, say, 682 or something. See, I like your logic. You're thinking outside the box, but the problem is, we accidentally sent Robert Scranton in there, and Dr. Scranton returned to us. We don't know how. We don't know how it got in there. We don't know how it got out. And that means that if Scranton can get out, 682 can get out. And so I do not see that as a viable plan. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. How does containment work for SCPs that exist in superpositions? Interesting. I imagine that would help us deal with teleporters in a way as well. All right, let's look up SCP superposition on the database. All right, so 5027. When SCP-5027 makes direct contact with objects or living organisms, they will enter a permanent state of quantum superposition. That is what we have here. So it's a male humanoid who claims to be a 27-year-old male individual named Redacted, residing in Bayard, Saskatchewan. Scans in a public database reveal that Redacted was officially declared dead after a head-on collision with an intoxicated driver in 1997. 5027 is in a permanent state of quantum superposition. All right, so there we go. So that means special containment procedures. SCP-5027 is contained within a high-security humanoid containment chamber at Site-65. The chamber is isolated from adjoining containment cells and utility lines on Site-65 to prevent the spread of 5027's effects. 2 Scranton reality anchors are installed below the chamber. If one or more of the SRAs fail, repair or replacement of the devices is designated as a Level 5 priority, and Site-65 is to enter lockdown until containment measures have been reestablished. Personnel are not permitted to enter 5027's containment chamber at any time. Direct physical contact with 5027 is strictly forbidden. Requests by 5027 are to be sent to Dr. Williams for processing. So there, that's your first one. I got you one on the first try. Look at that. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating. I'm not being chased by 096. I've never looked at his face. Well, yeah, I assume it's just running by you. Just keep your eyes down. 051, thank you for donating again. To Site-1 staff, yes, I run on no sleep and caffeine and tea. Was doing this for my Department of Abnormalities days. No, you can't stop me. Huh. We'll see about that. Gemini, once again, I would also like to apologize about my earlier offense. As stated, I've been out of the loop. No worries. I've always got to give people a small timeout first because I I saw a couple of your mentions of that character, which is why I decided it was worth a timeout and a mention. It's also not very well known outside of the core SCP community why we don't talk about Dr. Bright. There is a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright. If you want the rundown, the quick rundown. If you want a fuller rundown, there are links in that video to Dr. Cimmerian's YouTube channel, and he goes farther in depth with the issue. So I'll tell you the long story short, Cimmerian will tell you the long story longer. But those are things you can check out as to why we don't talk about that character anymore. Mainly just because it shouldn't be so popularized dealing with the situation. So hear me out, isn't 096 like a flesh version of Ennard? I don't see that at all. 096 is a skeletal humanoid that chases you down if you see its face. Ennard is an amalgamation of living animatronic bits that does not care if you see its face or not. It'll get you either way. So, huh. 051, thank you for donating again. No redacted Site-1 and all that tell me to sleep. My job can't allow me to sleep. Well, yes, I know some of the 05 are night walkers. That's common knowledge. Or at least it's the rumor. Nothing about the 05 is actually common knowledge. But hear me out, Dr. Sherman. 682 loves the thought of no life in the universe. So say 682 comes back. It, remember it, not he, it. It's a lizard. It's not a he or a she. It is an it. It is an object. It's an anomaly. Come on. It is going to come. It's going to want to go back as that's what it desires. No, it's not so easy as it wants to live in a universe with no life. It also just hates us. It would come back to mess us up. It would not stay away. Oh51, thank you for donating again. I won't sleep, damn you, falls on keyboard starting to snore. Well, that's what happens when you push too hard. For every time you claim anomalies are objects, I manifest another flying spider to put in your dormitory. You've been saying that a lot, but I haven't seen any flying spiders in my dormitory, so I am less than worried. Interloper, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Doctor, is it true that you and the janitor are going to have a boxing match in the cafeteria? I haven't heard about this. Oh, is this the cover-up we're using for the PCS TIFE bulk? The PCS TIFE bulk. Maybe that's the cover story. Okay, I'm putting down what you're selling. Yes. Me and the janitor are going to throw down later for the PCS TIFE bulk. That's totally what's going to be going on and nothing else that you shouldn't break Rule 1 by talking about. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Existing out of spite, mood. Understandable. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a blue raspberry Slurpee on your way past the commissary. Help, I accidentally opened a portal to the cat-made waifu dimension. They're everywhere and they won't go back. Please, I need help. You... that's so annoying. Every time. Every time. Oh, I want to go to the cat-made waifu dimension. They're not going to be super annoying the whole time. Not at all. All right, me and the janitor will have to put off our fight, tell the janitor to get a broom, and start to smacking. I'll bet $100 you win the PCS Typh Bulk. Cereal Ducky, I like what you're laying down. You're very clever. I've always said that about you. So, yes. Yes, that is a well-spent bet after we finish this cat-made waifu invasion scenario. Why the cat-made? Sans the skeleton. Let me explain. So, many years ago, SCP-049, the Plague Doctor, got on my bad side by killing my bestie, Dr. Raymond Ham. It was a very bad situation, and I did not handle it well. And so I made a vow that I would shove every universes in the multiverses, SCP-049, into the cat-made waifu dimension for revenge. Some very wonderful art was made of that, and some hilarities were had at mocking 049 for being shoved into such a dimension. Eventually, we got over that situation, and it's been a tense but not as bad a relationship since. I still wish that it would stop making zombies, though. It's very annoying. SCP-420-J, welcome to the stream! Oh, come on, I used to be able to do this. There we go. Thank you for being a member, by the way. Look at the likes. Oh, we have 300 likes. We could almost repel an army of Persians with this many likes. Cereal Ducky, you can't snap? Bummer. Oh, Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. The sleep darts with the help of the law's left hand worked. Yeah. Well, yeah, sometimes nighty-night time is effective. 051, thank you for donating again. You woke up. Also, what was that song you had in mind, Sherman, about the comically cooking with me and everyone trying to get to be my J? Oh, no. The song I have in mind, you'll see at the end. It has to do with something we've talked about today. But pay attention because it's about the artist, not the song itself. You'll know it when you hear it. Hey, Dr. Sherman, are there any wish-granting SCPs that have little to no setbacks that you know of? Asking for the purpose of OC creation. So the only wish-granting SCP with little to no blowback that I know of is SCP-3313, otherwise known as Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis. That one doesn't have any setbacks. The problem is that Benjamin Franklin stole it, so we don't have it in containment anymore. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. How many members make up the average mobile task force unit? 4 or more? It is important for the draft. I believe mobile task forces on the wiki. The funny thing is that whenever you watch whenever you read an article, there's normally 4 people who show up. But I don't think a mobile task force is just 4 people most of the time. I think Samsara is 5. I don't recall, though. But, I mean, the real answer is it can be as many as you want. Desk is telling me that Clef has a mobile task force that's just 2 people. And then 3 to 4 is normally the amount that are in an interview log or an event log on a SCP article. But I imagine, you know, like mobile task force Ninetail Fox has a bunch more people than that. So it's a whole lot of different scenarios for different situations. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. Apparently there is also a Bara Butler dimension. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's going to be a lot to deal with. Zero, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a BLT on your way past the commissary. Whoever owns a silver Kia in the SITE-42 parking lot, your car alarm is going off. Please deal with this. Thank you for your cooperation. All right. Well, thank you for the announcement. O51, thank you for donating again. Okay, that's it. I'm opening the wine. Hey, if you're off shift, it ain't against protocol. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Okay, I'm going to try joining Law's Left Hand. Well, good luck. Darkened Dreams, welcome to SITE-42 membership. As a level 1 researcher, we appreciate your membership and your service. Welcome to the Green Name Corps. Enjoy your custom SITE-42 SCP emojis. And for your first donation to today's stream as well, grab yourself a can of... What's the name of it? What's the name of the delicious thing I want you to grab? Grab yourself a McFuddy's Pepper Elixir on your way past the commissary. How many bananas would it take to kill an SCP? I mean, there are some smaller SCPs that can be killed by 1 banana, or even half a banana. They're micro-sized. It's just squish. So, I mean, it depends on the SCP, really. I found the waffle fries. You thought you could hide them from me, but I know I always know. It's just the commissary. We're not hiding waffle fries. The commissary has waffle fries. It's not that deep, bruh. Dear SITE-42, I am formally requesting that my table and chair that your foundation took. I was lending it out. I believe that you and your foundation refer to it as the deal with the devil. Yeah, you're not getting that back, buddy. You're not getting that back. We're still doing research. We got to research it. We got a lot of studying to do. So yeah, we're just gonna hold on to that. Okay. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. Thank you. All the info has helped the draft a lot. Well, good luck. Darkened Dreams, thank you for donating again. Favorite newer SCP entry. Okay, okay. All of my favorites are typically from the 5000s and back, but there have been definitely some great SCPs in the later series. For instance, 8320 is a great article that everyone should enjoy. The 700 Million Wizards. That one is fantastic. 8320. On top of which, let me look up SCP Acrophobia. SCP-8654 is a crazy good article. I'm calling it The Next Daybreaks. It is that level of good. SCP-8654 is the next when day breaks. So check that one out for real. I'm not going to spoil anything on this stream, although I have talked about it in the past. Just check it out. Those are two favorites from the new series. Yeah, everybody you ever hear say SCP is washed, there's no good writing anymore, they don't even read the wiki. They don't know. They don't know what we're cooking. They're not anywhere near the kitchen. And they should be smarter about talking about things they don't know nothing about. 051, thank you for donating again. That's it. The wine is open and the Discord is updated. The Discord. Dr. Sherman, I saw a new researcher with one of your mugs. Wow, they got a Foundation Employee of the Month? That's pretty impressive for a newbie. But I guess they did something pretty good. No, SITE-1. They didn't say Discord. They said Deskcord. D-E-S-K-O-R-D. Deskcord. I guess they're just hanging out on top of a desk or something. Mentally Lost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a donut on your way past the commissary. Hello, Doctor. Me again, the Lost. Let 729-G. Why? Why? Out, but it got locked in with me in my cell. For some reason, it won't stop screaming for help. Can I eat it? Can I? Can we be rid of it? Can we just get rid of it? Oh, pardon. Oof. No. No, you can't eat it. As much as I would like to be rid of that thing, it would be against protocol to destroy it. So, no. Ugh. Put that thing back where you found it, or so help me. Ah, okay. Well, I will put it like this. Dr. Sherman and SITE-42 have a Discord server, but I barely visit it. I am that Discord server's father who went out for cigarettes and milk. Very unfortunate. So while the moderators do a good job keeping the place clean and tidy, and some people do enjoy it there, I rarely hang out there because I'm so busy. So if you wanted to go to a Discord server to hang out with me, that would be bad, because that would not be a wise move. But Desk is telling me that the Deskcord is Desk's Discord server. And apparently some of y'all hang out in there and do stuff. I am seeing some very cute art from the Deskcord. And so, for instance, without doxing anyone to the best of my ability, let's go up here and then turn this around. And there's SCP-999 in a suit. And there's SCP-999 in a suit. From our previous stream where I talked about that being an adorable idea. And so that's pretty awesome. We love that. So yes, if you want to hang out in the Discord, that is between you and Desk. Serial Ducky. Dr. Sherman is a well-rounded 6 foot tall, for your information. Not a giant, but I'm not a small either. 051, thank you for donating again. Discord is the Discord of Desk. Ah, I just got that explanation from Desk. And yes, I'm drunk. Well, okay, be careful. I'm glad you're off shift, but watch out for that. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again. I already took a bite out of it. It is sweet. Do not destroy anomalies. We are not the Global Occult Coalition. We do not destroy anomalies. Spit it out and stitch it back together. Serial Ducky, you gotta go? Well, farewell and see you in the next stream. Chris and Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. 051 needs to go back to bed. Also, I think I'll be the cutest Mobile Task Force Omega-1 member. Well, Omega-1 is not necessarily known for being cute, so you might have that in the bag. Razor, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a blintz on your way past the commissary. What is the Foundation doing when the entire universe starts speeding up from Made in Heaven? I'm not familiar with this phenomenon, but... While I look up Made in Heaven to see what you are talking about, I will answer a much simpler question that Desk has brought to my attention. Is that mug from friend of the channel, Toad King Studios? Yes, this mug is in fact from friend of the channel, Toad King Studios. The SCP Foundation Personnel of the Month mug is available for your liquid imbibing pleasure from the Toad King Studios shop on Etsy. One of our best SCP merch makers. Now, what was Made in Heaven? Drama series. Indian romantic drama series that premiered on Amazon Prime. Is this what you're talking about? I don't know if you're talking about an Indian drama series. Romantic drama. Is that what you mean? What else is called Made in Heaven? Is it the JoJo Bizarre's Adventure Stand? That seems a little more likely based on the fandom we hang out with. No, it's JoJo. Perfect. All right, so let me look into this a little bit. Made in Heaven takes the appearance of a thin, masculine humanoid fused at its waist to the front end of a horse, resembling a two-legged and two-headed centaur, or a Nuklavi, which we do have Nuklavis on the wiki. I believe that's SCP 3854? Let me double check my memory there. SCP 3456. There we go. 3456 is the Nuklavi. So going back to Blinkers and Reins. Abilities. Perfected form of Poochie's ability is extremely powerful, close-range, time-controlling stand. Although its physical abilities may not be remarkable, its control over time grants it an overwhelming speed advantage. However, Poochie isn't particularly interested in Made in Heaven's time acceleration, but rather its capacity to bring about a new universe with extraordinary properties. Time acceleration. Power to accelerate the flow of time dramatically, achieved through its ability to control the gravitational forces of the Earth, Moon, and seemingly the entire universe in reference to the aspect of the theory of relativity. Upon activation, it can gradually speed up the flow of time for everything in the universe, with the exception of things which can't catch up. Living things. Stand abilities, such as Kiss Sticker, are unaffected by time acceleration. The only living beings who can move freely within time acceleration are Made in Heaven itself and its user. So... my first question when investigating this is, how was the entity defeated? Because this is a... that's the first question when we investigate an entity, is how was it beat? Because that usually has something to do with its containment. Okay, so it just reset the whole universe again, and then started from basically the same point. Okay, so time traveler, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm going with the standard Scranton reality anchor. JoJo stands hurt my head. There's too much going on in that series. Junior Researcher Sally, you don't gotta worry, because I couldn't find it. For time travels and reality bending like that, it's usually SRAs all the way. Dr. Sherman, are you aware that Alcatraz Island is alive? I visited Alcatraz a couple of years ago. It was a cool spot. Oh no. Does this have anything to do with SCP-5004-1? Hold on. No, no. Is this the reason why SCP-5004-B wants to reopen the Alcatraz prison? Does it have something to do with the island being alive? What is that idiot cooking? By the way, checking the timer, we are 12 minutes from the end of stream. Try not to go back in time and date your sister about that or something. I don't know, I didn't play that game. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again. All right, but someone else has to get it out of my cell. I'm not going to be a reason why the containment breach would get worse, going to stay in my cell. Someone will move it. Someone will move that thing back. Not me, but someone. 051, thank you for donating again. Yes, I'm drunk and on shift. The reason you all want to do stuff to the SCP and me, and I got enough, I can't take it anymore. Oh no. We've caused 051 to have a breakdown. A little breaky-wakey, downy-wowny. So, let's get 051 to bed, and we will, recuperate and regroup tomorrow. Darkened Dreams, thank you for donating again. Any new doctors at the Foundation? I mean, there's new doctors being written constantly, due to the loose cannon nature of the SCP universe, so I'm sure there's plenty of them. Hell, based on the timeline, I'm one of the newer doctors on the block. You'll notice that Clef, Kendraki, the doctor we don't talk about, Light, Wright, Moose, and all them get a lot of fan art. But Dr. Sherman is still propagating. Not a lot of people know about this guy yet. One day, we will be the fan artist doctor. But it is not yet that day. Terragal, thank you for donating again. For context, I meant to open a portal to my home realm, and I think the cat-made dimension crossed my dimensional pathway. Gotta hate when that happens. Phantom Reactor, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Help yourself to a smoothie on your way past the commissary. If Legos can be SCP, is Bionicle lore its own SCP? So... So it looks like there are no bionicle anomalies on the SCP Wiki. Although I did find a funny reference in Agent Jack Mockery's personnel file about almost getting banned from the wiki for posting a bionicle that kills people as an SCP at age 13. Woof. I'm glad you changed your ways and improved off that concepts. Anyways. So yes, in that case, you're looking at the bionicle universe with all of its powers as a different universe and fandom of lore and magic BS that I hope we never have to deal with, because there's a lot of stuff going on over there, I hear. Dark red. About 10 minutes left if we're going strictly to 3 hours. You are correct, or more now, 8 minutes. Although I've got to get through these donos, so it might take me a little extra time. Razor. Something that's a little... Thank you for donating again. Something that's a little less overwhelming. Let's take a step back to Sea Moon, the stand preceding Made in Heaven. That seems more feasible. Okay, back to the JoJo Wiki. So, evolve form of White Snake and predecessor to Made in Heaven. Are these stands just Pokemon? Seriously. Seriously. Okay, so what do? Power over gravity greatly impedes its enemies and guarantees any of its strikes are fatal, but possesses the agility and speed to fight toe-to-toe with the most powerful stands. So strong and gravity shifting. And so, this one we would need to use some, beyond using reality anchors, we'd actually have to use gravity inverters. We would need to basically manipulate gravity in ways that stop it from manipulating gravity. We'd have to be constantly countering it. That would take a very complicated machine. And of course, it's still got the little bits of time acceleration in there too. Ho ho. And this thing could just evolve into the next form on its own. I really need to watch JoJo at some point. So many people ask questions of this, and I need to do some deep lore research. Lol, not asking for containment about this, but Whitesnake literally does basically just put stands into Pokeballs, so you're not wrong at all about the Pokemon comparison. Thank you for donating again, Razor, to tell me that. Oh, geez. Yeah, depending on the tech we can get, it might be worth it to hunt down some tech like that. Frickin' Pokeballs for stands. I really need to study this lore, because it comes up a lot. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Oh, what watch is that? Oh, this is a standard issue Apple Watch. And then I put fictional characters or things that matter to me as the face. So you have the SCP logo mixed with the gear from my old theater troupe, MetroCon. Two things that brought me to where I am today. You have a creator on TikTok. Oh, wait, it went away. every time I turn my wrist over. Anyways, I'll just tell you. A creator on TikTok with synesthesia drew/painted what my voice looks like to them because they could see sounds. And so that was pretty cool. I have a Keanu Reeves on here because you're breathtaking. Everyone loves Keanu. He's a good guy. I have the Game Theorist and Markiplier on here because I am doing what I can to follow their path forward as a creator. I have the Elite Beat Agents because agents that go out into the world and just do awesome dance and singing moves to make people to save the day is awesome. I have Ichiban Kasuga from Yakuza Like a Dragon here because he's the most positive stand-up dude in the world. I have Kamina, the most badass of all badasses, on here. I have Tamaki from Oran High School Host Club for his great beauty and princely duties. Love that Peacock game. And Gomez Adams, who is a role model for all those lovers out there in the world. This is basically my What Would Jesus Do bracelet, but it's a bunch of anime and movie characters. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again. If I continue to be good, can I talk to 049? Yeah, probably. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Okay, me and Law's Left Hand are going to make sure 051 goes to bed. After all, it's unethical to overwork. Okay, be careful. You never know when an 05 is carrying. Dark and Dreams, thank you for donating again. Is Guar an SCP? You know, I don't believe it's on the database, but I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked at all. Honestly. Per maybe haps, I'm thinking. Whoa. Josh, thank you for donating again. Could the Foundation contain the stand Wonder of You? Sorry. These stands. We talked about Wonder of You a little bit back when it was the Death Battle guys talking about 096 versus Wonder of You. And I am pretty sure that we contain several luck-based anomalies, so I do think we could handle that. We just have to get it in a room and then leave it there. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. Bionicle could be similar SCP to Here Be Dragons. Ooh, that'd be rough in general, and for the Bionicle fans, it would be very sad. Alki, why do people call the Scarlet King Oswald? Because I jokingly called this particular Scarlet King person Oswald because I said, I know your true name. It's Oswald, because I wanted to pick a innocuous name for such a terrifying entity. It's a running joke. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again. Why are you specifically hunting Spider-Man? Assigned? Oh no, I took that job up willingly. Obviously, that has to go in a box, and I just have a feeling that it needs my personal touch. That's all. Vaporwave Drama, Dream Man. I haven't been following SCP since the 5000 series. What's new? 8980, you should read it. 8980. You should read 8320, and you should read 8654. Start to catch up. 051, thank you for donating again. Ein Prosit, sing in German with the rest of the 05 Council and the Ethics Committee on shift. Oh boy, they're singing now. Please, I just want to know if the pen clicking is a stim or a habit. Well, I am not an expert on the difference between a stim and a habit. What I do know is that the pen spinning is something I train myself to do for fun, and the clicking is just nice to do in between rotations. So, that's all. I would believe on the hand of, pardon, whoa. I would lean towards the side of habit. Hyrule, Nil, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a bag of Pop Rocks on your way past the commissary. I found a video about -EXs. Do you have a favorite? So, I'm not going to say the one I wrote, which is SCP-2700-EX, because that would be cheating. But if I were to look at the EX list and pick a favorite that wasn't 2700-EX, I would probably go with... I think today I'll say 8900-EX. I just think it's cool, the idea that the world used to be black and white and changed to color, and we were able to cover that up. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Kyoya from Host Club is better. Listen, might he be more effective as the Shadow President? Yes. But I will all day stand for the Peacock Prince archetype and our ability to bard and inspire people to do better. And Kyoya was inspired by Tamaki, so it still works. All right, son of a gun, I did it. I made it to the end of the donations, which means we are running into the closing ceremonies. So, first of all, Dark Red, yes, everyone should come join Desk's stream after this if they can. Desk's stream is on Twitch at The Desk SCP, so you should check that out. Beyond that, at the end of every... Nope, I can't do that. Phantom Reactor. If captured, thank you for donating again. If captured, how would you classify Spider-Man? Well, Spider-Man would have to be Euclid at base level because a humanoid, sentient, sapient anomaly can't be safe. So it would have to be Euclid and probably a Keter. Very similar to your favorite neighbor, your friendly neighborhood Keter, SCP-4051. They're actually quite similar now that I think about it. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I think 051 is sleeping. Well, I heard German singing, so not quite all the way asleep. If you don't have Twitch, by the way, for Desk Stream, you can watch it on a browser, I believe. I'm not sure how Twitch works. I don't use it very often. Gotta get on that with our stream sometime, but YouTube is working well, so I don't want to rock the boat. Anyways, at the end of every stream, I tell you my favorite SCPs. Now, these are not the SCPs I wrote. That would be cheating. Of course I love my SCPs, which you can read at the Sherm's SITE-42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. You can read all my SCPs, and you can check out our support links such as our Patreon, where for as low as $1 a month, you get early access to all of the SITE-42 videos. Channel memberships here on YouTube, where for the low tier, you get emojis, you get badge, you get green name, which makes it more likely to see you in the chat. But also, when you go up to the second tier, that's when you get the early access. I try to balance out the Patreon and the channel membership since the Patreon doesn't get YouTube benefit. So I try to give them the early access at a lower level, try to balance it out. 051, thank you for donating again. I'm still awake and on Desk stream. Excellent. Desk stream will start as soon as I stop yapping, so let me get to that point. So, yes, you can become a member, you can become a patron, whatever best way you have to support SITE-42. And even if you can't directly donate, it is perfectly fine, because if you're watching, liking, sharing, and subscribe to SITE-42, you are helping us out. You are supporting us no matter what, especially if you are a member of Mobile Task Force SCP-42, codename the Signal Boosters. That's the team who swears allegiance to share SCP films and game projects that I find and advertise. That way more people see them, more people can donate to them, and we get bigger and better SCP movies and games. So if you're a Signal Booster, I salute you right now. Finally, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980 with a content warning. That one's rough. That last one, woof. It's great, it's also rough. One more time, hyperspeed, 3999-3043-008, SJ Spooky-J, 5175-5031, 5320, and 8980 with a big content warning. I hope you guys have had a good time with today's office hours. I know I did. This was a good stream. Fantastic. If you want to be a signal booster, you can by saying you are one. Say you're a signal booster and you are one. It's that easy to join Mobile Task Force SITE-42. Maybe one day I will build an email list or something that I can broadcast these things to you so you're the first to know and you can spread it out. But I'm still working on that plan. We're still trying to build SITE-42 up first. So, with that, my favorite SCPs are in the bag. You know what to do. So, I have been Dr. Theron Sherman. This has been Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from SITE-42. I hope you guys have had fun. I hope you've learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next stream and or video. I hit the wrong button, damn it! I want a girl with a mind like a diamond. I want a girl who knows what's best. I want a girl with shoes that cut and eyes that burn like cigarettes. I want a girl with the right allocations who is fast and thorough and sharp as a tack. She is playing with her jewelry. She is putting up her hair. She is touring the facility and picking up slack. I want a girl with a short skirt and a long jacket.